Hello, sorry. I'm just making sure my frame is right. It's kind of weird when it starts because I have it automatically record because I lost an episode. It didn't record, so now I make sure it's always just automatically recording. So you get some awkward intros. You're welcome. Uh, Today, and I hope I don't mess her name up. I'm gonna talk to Patty Pershayla. I believe that's how you say it. Patty Pershayla of, and God willing, I'm saying this right. Patty Pershayla and the Mayhaps, I believe, is her band, and she's out of Michigan. She's another one that I've never met before, so I'm really excited to talk to her, but I'm just kind of waiting awkwardly as I do right now. I am going to bring her name into it more, I believe. Yeah. That's better. You see my little Hawaiian lady from my trip to Hawaii with my aunt and recently passed uncle. So anyway, here we are, waiting for Patty, and maybe I'll squeak in that story about Weston's middle name. The summer I was pregnant, I didn't know I was pregnant yet, and I got to turn pages for the pianist of Humphreys, my favorite band. And it was huge for me, and I was super stoked, and just like the coolest thing to ever happen to me as far as with one of the bands I like, or my favorite band. And so like on stage, turning the pages, his music. So everyone that weekend kept calling me Page Turner because I was turning pages. And I just really loved it, and so I wanted to name him, if he was a girl, Paige Turner, but I named him Weston. Hello, Patty. You might not be able to hear me.
Hello?
Hi. I can
Hi.
hear you. I can't see you yet, but
yeah,
perfect.
Do you want me to go landscape?
However you want. It really doesn't matter to me.
Oh, all right. I'm going to do it just because it feels like the right.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because the Zoom kind of edits the video for me. So if I'm talking, it'll be my screen, and if you're talking, it's your screen, and I don't do anything. So
cool.
However you like it.
Okay. One quick request, if you don't mind. Do you mind spelling my name the way it's showing up here, probably?
Shayla. Mm-hmm. Yep, totally. I won't change the sign right now. It'll take ages, but I will change it at least in the actual episode and everything. I was like, I hope I don't mess it up, and here we are.
That's okay. It confuses literally everybody and me. Sometimes I write my name this way, like when I'm signing stuff, and I'm like, that's not.
I get it. It would be really hard to know how to pronounce your. Is that why you spell it that way? Yeah.
Well, and it just needed to not be as Polish as it is. It's nobody can spell it right. I mean, you spelled it right is the thing that really impressed me. So
I'm always, that's one of my biggest fears, is that I'm going to spell someone's name wrong, or I don't know, describe them wrong, what they do in the industry. So I always let you explain who you are and how you're involved in the music community for people who don't know. Of course, I've done a little like Facebook stalking and whatnot to see what we're doing. But just tell our viewers a little bit about yourself. And
so my name is Patty Pershayla, and I dabble in a lot of things. Lately, I have been online, as most everybody has, and I've been working on my Patreon page and just making content for my listeners. So normally my role there is singer-songwriter. I've written a song every week for about 36 weeks or something now at this point. And then I'm also front woman and bassist of a band called Patty Pershayla and the Mayhaps.
Cool. I didn't say it wrong when I was like, when I was waiting for you, and I was like, I really hope I'm saying this right, because I looked at it earlier, but now I don't have my phone, whatever. So I'm glad I said that right. Because you're in Michigan, right?
Yes.
So I've kind of lost touch with the Midwest. I'm from Indiana, but like
Okay.
Northwest Indiana, right off of Lake Michigan, basically. But um, tell us a little about your band. Like, what vibes do you guys give?
Yeah, well, it's always changing, and I think that's a good thing. But well, we just released an EP back in October called "Good with Words and." Can I swear?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, it's called "Good
Absolutely.
with Words and Shit," but it's like SH''T. So it's and so that's kind of like going back to classic rock kind of vibes. And the EP and the follow-up record that's coming out this coming year, whenever we can have a show for it, all recorded to analog tape, and it's got a totally vintage vibe. But people usually say it's garage rock with blues and punk,
I
and
love
we like to throw in like a little twang every once in a while.
love that. That sounds. I should have listened, but I've had an interview each day, or I would have like, I end up nannying, so it's just like chaos. I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
we're just gonna do it. We're gonna talk because I met you through what Adam, I guess a mutual.
Mm-hmm.
He's only my Facebook friend, but we've been Facebook friends for a long time. I have no idea how I met him or how we wound up being friends, but I'm so glad he tagged you.
Yeah. Oh,
Especially
thanks.
if you have new music coming out, that's super exciting, and I love like that description. Like I'm going to be following up.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
So what else are you guys up to? Like you're releasing once you can play live, yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
just still just writing music all the time, basically.
Yeah, really all the time. Trying to set up sort of like, well, we had a camp Mayhaps back in August or something, which is when we were all just like at my house like for a whole day or two and
Right.
just practicing stuff and like getting it locked in. But I think I'm going to set up a second one of those where we can start writing our next record, even though this one hasn't come out yet.
Hey.
So like I got time, I have songs, and so that's kind of where we're at. So right now in the month of January, my guitarist and I are both doing a riff every single day on our Instagram pages, and then I've just kind of been saving the things that feel like they're in that vibe, and I'm kind of going for like a alien in the desert kind of
That sounds
a
so
storyline. Yeah.
yes. Have you ever heard of Bliss Special?
I don't think so.
They just came out with an album called Ancient Homies, and it kind of reminds me of that. They even like reference Terrence McKenna and stuff, which I think is kind of cool. I don't know, going to like the whole psychedelic part of the
Mm-hmm.
is kind of, I don't know. This seems to be a theme, and I love it because it seems like, I don't know, it seems like I can't even think of the word. It's really hard to describe. A paradigm, I want to say,
Mm.
maybe is shifting or something, people are really looking for that. I don't know, I'm getting too
Mm-hmm.
existential.
I think part of right now, especially, is that we haven't had life experiences to draw from as writers too. And I mean, I'm sure before 2020, it was, people were still kind of exploring in like in fictional writing and stuff. But that's kind of where I'm at for me, because I have a lot of feelings and especially a lot of rage. And I think that was working with like the rah rah anthem
Yeah.
stuff that we were doing. But now I'm feeling like, okay, I've been watching a lot of Star Trek. What can I do with this?
I love that. That's awesome. Oh man. Okay, so the framework for this show, like it started out anyway as now it's more just a conversation. I just like talking to new people and I miss it. So that's kind of
Yes,
where I'm at.
hell
But,
yeah. Well, it's nice to meet you.
yes, you do. But the original idea was that I wanted to talk to women about like their triumphs and traumas and just their overall evolution in the music community. I mean, for me, I started out like cocktail serving at a venue,
Mm-hmm.
and then like have been kind of winding my way through this weird path in the community just to feel closer to it.
Mm-hmm.
Do any of those things like resonate with you as far as like really having a triumph as a woman, or a trauma, like a hardship because you're a woman in the music community? Or
Definitely. I want to first say that I came prepared and I wore my boob earrings. I don't know if you can see them,
I love
but I've been waiting either for the right moment. I've had them for months, and this is their first outing. So I was ready. Yeah, I've had a couple of interesting conversations about this, because especially in Grand Rapids, which is where I'm from in Michigan, we have a very tight knit, like the women in our group. Like I've never felt rivalry with anybody here, and I mean that there might be some traces of that, but I think that's the first step that we've really nailed down here, is that we're not fighting each other when everybody else is, you know, not everybody, but there are still people that, despite our efforts to, you know, be where we need to be and you know, just be ourselves, like we'll still assume that we're not, you know, not worth it. I don't know. I mean, it happens when like I show up at like some of my gigs that I used to do. Because you know I've been inside most of the time, but we show up and they're like, "Oh, where's the band?" It's like, I'm the only one here. I'm, you know, or things like that, or like assuming that you're the girlfriend, or like they'll talk to my drummer, who is wonderful and completely knowledgeable, but doesn't often know as much about the situation as I do, because I am the booking agent and everything.
Right.
It's like things like that mostly. But I've been very lucky, and like I navigate who I work with very well, because I feel like if somebody calls me sweetheart, like it's like, no, we're not working together. That's the first thing. But I have a lot of good like older men who are mentors for me and stuff like that too. And it really, gender doesn't even come up very often. So that's, I've been blessed.
Yeah, that's really rad, because I feel like that's kind of more the world we're moving into anyway, but there are still those cases where it's like, did you really just say that? Or, you know what I mean? Do that, whatever. Like, I remember working in the bar industry and having old ass men like put their tip in my apron, you know, just like, just gross, you know, like don't touch me.
Way too personal. Yeah.
Yeah, especially like you consider where the apron area is. It's like, get away from me. So I would imagine like it happens across the board, right? In like various ways, but it does seem to be dwindling. And I really appreciate the fact that you do have a support system of women that like genuinely are a support system. They don't tear each other down or like compete or anything, because that's kind of why I'm here too, you know. I just got really tired of seeing women be terrible to each other, like there's no reason for this. You know, it's like the I don't know, the male dominated world has really pitted us against each other. So it's cool to hear that, because almost every woman I've talked to now like mentions a group like that, of like just supportive women they have in their lives that they can rely on. So that's really cool. How did you meet most of your group? Like just through working with them, or people you've been friends with for a long time, or?
Good combination of things. The first place that I really felt that was, we have a girls rock camp here in Grand Rapids, which is, it's like a week-long day camp for girls and kids, but actually non-binary kids are welcome too. But it's mostly, it's not like music camp, like, oh, we learn how to play instruments and then we have a recital. It's like music camp, like we talk about our feelings and we write a song together, and it doesn't matter if it's perfect or not. It's very much like, you know, using music as a way to just express yourself and fight the patriarchy and the different, you know, the pitting us against each other. So that I met a lot of great women and non-binary folks through that, like that are also musicians or just are around in the music scene. And then other people are just, I would go to their shows and I'd be like, so she's really cool, and I'm too scared to talk to her, but I'm going to message her online a lot later. And that's how I met my roommate, actually. So
That's kind of how I've been able to, like, Facebook Messenger is a thing, and people look at it, you know, and then it's up to them if they want to respond or not. They could totally be like, meh, you know what I mean, and brush it off, or they can engage. It's so cool. Like, as much as I battle with technology, it's really cool that we're able to do this, you know, and in any other day and age, it would really fucking suck to have a pandemic, you know, at least a little bit, you know. Have you anything in the works in 2021 as far as live goes, or is Michigan pretty under lock and key right now?
It's up and down. And I, at first, when everything shut down, because Michigan has been one of the more strict. At first, I was like, just like self-pity, because we all had to deal. I think I felt bad about it at the time because there were so many other people in worse situations. But I also, like, my whole world just like crumbled down. It's like, okay, and so how am I going to do this from home? And anyway, but we are starting to book some outdoor gatherings, and I don't want to be too optimistic. Apparently Dr. Fauci says by fall we should have indoor concerts again. So I'm trusting him because he seems to know. I mean, he is the one who would know.
Right.
So, so outdoor gatherings, like we did a couple last year, but it felt a little, it was the first time where I had a crowd of people dancing and I was like, oh, I don't want this. I don't want this.
Well,
like,
to avoid, right?
yeah, like that's so cool. Oh no, they're gonna get sick. Like that was, it was so weird. And so I don't want too much of that. But I think, especially with more vulnerable people being vaccinated and stuff, I won't feel so responsible.
Right.
So, but yeah, there are things that we're working on.
That's good. What has been, like, have you done any drive-ins or anything, or is it mostly just like standard outdoor venues, or?
I have been to a couple of drive-in concerts, but I haven't. I think we Michigan got to that kind of late in the game, and there were only a couple of places that would even do it. So no, but mostly we have this one venue in particular out in Muskegon that they like built like a beach. So there's just like a sand bar, like tiki bar kind of thing with a stage, and we're just so far away from everybody that I feel good about that. Yeah. So it's stuff like that, like, or cities have blocked off chunks of road, things like that. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's cool. At least, I mean, I guess it's only January, but we'll get to the warm weather soon enough,
Yeah, you probably before me, but
yeah, it is like it'll be nice here come March or something. I don't know about. I feel like playing music, your digits get cold and it's hard, but I'm not a musician. I just imagine because my hands are cold all the time. Like, how do you do anything?
Yeah, it's so hard. It's so hard.
So how late can you play in the year in Michigan outside?
Likely September, if you're very lucky, October.
Okay.
And then March and April, it might still be blankets of snow. She is a beast. I mean, we're like along the lake shore too, so we get all kinds of snow.
I was like, right, hold on, am I doing that backwards? Is it in this way or this way?
This way. Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
so we're like there.
Wait, yeah, so we're down here, I think. Oh my gosh, I might be back.
Oh, where you're from?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be like Indiana.
Is that Ohio or Indiana?
Yeah, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois.
Okay, yeah, so maybe like in the middle-ish, like right over here. We're like right off of Lake Michigan still, so we still get hit with all the lake effect nonsense, but that's why I left. I was like, I can't do winters here anymore. It hurts so bad. It's just painful.
Yeah, but there are no like massive spiders or anything that you get in hot weather, because I don't know if I can handle that.
Yeah, and we like have rattlesnakes and shit here, so it's like, or like you could run into a moose and it'll kill you. So weird, but not usually.
That's pretty metal.
Yeah. Yes. But if you ever want to come out here, there's a pretty solid metal scene out here. Pretty like solid punk like community in Fort Collins specifically.
Okay.
Yeah. I also wanted to tell you that I love your background going on here. Did you paint the walls yourself?
They're stickers. So when I decided that I was gonna kind of up my recording rig, I just have this is just ready for me to like turn on my camera and turn on my mixer and just make videos. So this is just kind of where I'm always at. But if you look around, it doesn't match the rest of the room at all. So I had like $50. I was like, okay, I just need this much to be consistent.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so smart. Oh my god.
Yeah. And then all of my black clothes are here.
Yeah,
and
I
my
love
colored
it.
ones are in my room.
It's a beautiful aesthetic, even especially with like your tee in the back and then your guitar down there. Like they kind of match too with like I don't know. It's like it's a really pretty aesthetic. I love it.
Thanks. Yeah, this is just a bunch of butts. I don't know if you can see
Nice.
it.
Oh yeah, I can see it. That's
a lot of butts.
I love it. That's awesome. Do you know the artist who made that?
No, it was on Etsy.
Etsy. I was gonna say, looks like something I've seen on Etsy, but my computer is the screen is shattered, so I can see it a little bit.
Yeah, because they're also pretty small back there. But just in case anybody's ever wondering, every one of my video has butts in it.
Butts for days. I love it. Butts are important. Have you seen the new like pots and stuff that have been coming out that are like there's butts, there's boobs, there's vaginas, there's penises, and they're like potting like pots for plants?
No, I have not. I'm not surprised.
No, it's really funny. I mean, the things people can do with like 3D printers and shit these days is hilarious.
Yeah, absolutely. It's magic.
It really is. What's the name of your EP that's coming out? Or
the EP is that already came out in October. It's called Good with Words and Shit. But then those are 5 songs that are gonna still be on the record with another 5 songs.
Cool.
So we're just kind of like digitally released the ones that felt like they were 2020 songs, and then and that's gonna be called Cheap Diction.
Cool. I love it. Oh my gosh. Well, I don't want to eat up your whole night. It's been a pleasure. Is there anything that you would like to get off your chest, talk about before we go? I don't know.
No, I haven't had many experiences lately, so I think all I've got is just nerdy stuff.
Oh, I'm a nerd, so I'm here for the nerdy stuff. Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm pretty chill.
Well, you have a good evening, and then when we start opening up again, for sure, if you ever want to come out to Colorado, hit me up. I have a few connections here and there around the area.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, you too. Have a good night.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.